I've made over 500 edits and done hundreds of transitions over the past 7 years, and in this video I'll be showing you how to make them step by step from simple to advanced. And at the end I'll drop my personal favorite transition that I've used more than any other. Let's do it. So the first tier is simple transitions, which are the classics. So for my advanced viewers, chill on this one. This tier is for the beginners. Number 1, slide whip transition. Pretty self-explanatory. It's just a slide. This applies for video or picture or whatever you want to do. In this case, I'm just going to use 2 pictures of me. You can use videos or whatever you want. And now we have to do the transition right here in the middle. First thing you want to do is add motion tile. Okay, so now we're going to press P for position. And then we're going to go to the end of it. This is where we want to do the transition. You can either go to the left, to the right, up, or down. For this transition, I'm just going to move it to the left. I'm just going to bring it this way. And as you can see, it's black. That's why we have motion tile, which we're going to turn on mirror edges. And since we're going to the left, we're going to use width, because width and height. But in this case, we're going to use width. We're just going to set this to 500. You can undo the mirror edges, but it's going to be like this. So I just like to put mirror edges so this right here looks cleaner. And you're going to do more like this. And then you're going to bring this keyframe to the right. And now if we play it, you get something like that. But what I like to do is move this graph more over here so it goes a little bit slower, but we're going to add a graph to it. So you're going to highlight, right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease. We're going to go to this little keyframe thing. Usually I would use this value graph, but I would recommend you to use the speed graph, and you would just copy basically this graph right here. If we go back and you play it, you get this now. So now we have to do what we did on this, but do the opposite and do it on this. So on this first clip, let's grab this motion tile, Control C, Control V on this clip. Now we're going to press P for position, keyframe, bring this to the right. And now you got to see which way it does the transition. So for example, it's going this way. So then that means it should be coming from this way. So if I play it, it should go like that, exactly like that. So now we're going to grab this one. I'm going to put it more this way. And then we're going to do the same thing with the graph. So easy ease, come over here. But this time we're not going to do this because it's going to do this. Watch. Yeah, we don't want that. So we have to go back in here and do the opposite. So it's going to be this way and this way. And now if we play it, as you can see, it looks now like an actual slide. If this is for like a gaming YouTube video, this is probably too long. So you would want to make these keyframes way closer to each other. And if you play it slowly, you can see like this, like they're duplicated. And to hide that, you basically just highlight both of these and turn on motion blur. And now it's going to look even cleaner. Look at that. And it looks even cleaner if you add a sound effect to it. Next up, we have zoom in and out transitions, which technically is the same thing. You're also going to need motion tile, but this time you're going to want to do both width and height. So let's set this one to 500 as well. For my advanced viewers, just sit tight for now. We're going to get to the other ones in a little bit, but still watch this because technically you can still learn something. Maybe you'll learn a thing or two from how I do it. And now let's say we want to basically do a zoom out, which would go like this. All you have to do is use scale, make a keyframe, go to the end, but not all the way to the end because you can't see what you're doing. So 1 frame before, and then we're going to bring this down even like this. Even though you start seeing the background, it's okay because now we're going to move this to the right. And as you can see, it starts doing that, which let me turn on motion blur. We're going to highlight these keyframes and do the same thing. So easy ease, go to the graph editor, and now it's looking like a U, but it still does the same thing. So it should be like this. So now if we play it, it goes like that. You see? And now we got to do the opposite thing to this one. And for this first keyframe, instead of zooming out like this, you're going to zoom in.
A few moments later.
And now it should look something like this. Pretty simple. Nice. Next, we have spin/rotate transition, which once again, like scale and position, this time we're going to use rotation, which you can enable by pressing R. So you're going to make a keyframe for rotation. Go over here and maybe let's rotate it to like 180. We're going to bring this over here. Do the same thing with the graph. Highlight, right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease, graph editor, graph. And there you go. And now you do the opposite for this one. And there you go. Super smooth. Okay, now for the medium tier. These are really harder to do, but they feel more like quality or basically a step up from beginner stuff. Number 1, we got light leak transition. Now for this one, you're going to need some type of overlay asset. I have this one right here, for example. If you don't have it, low key, you can just search it up on YouTube and you'll get a bunch of good results for free. As you can see, we got a whole bunch of them right here. Let me see this one. Yeah, don't use that one. Let me see. Yeah, they got more right here.
What the fuck?
Oh, that could work. This could work. Okay, so for this one, you're gonna need your clips. Yes, I'm using the pictures of me again. And then for the video, you want to align it where you see the most brightness. So technically right here, let's use S and scale it up. And now this is where you can just right click on it. And change the blending mode to any of these. Usually like screen works. And if we play it, you get something like this. But I don't know if you could tell, but like it starts to change colors right here. So you might want to use something else like lighten. There it goes. You see? And you see how like the brightness happens in between this. That's what makes it a transition.
I know it looks pretty simple. This should have been on the simple things, but technically it's a little bit more advanced. Like not everyone's doing this. I mean, there's a lot of people that are doing this.
Match cut transition. A match cut is when you cut between two clips that share similar shape, color, or movement to create a seamless and intentional transition. I would show you how to do this, but I only have these 2 pictures to go with. So it's kind of hard to do a match cut like this. I mean, technically, right? We can zoom into this BMW logo, but like it's pretty low quality. And then like my hat, and then maybe this one as well. This is a match cut. You see how I'm using these guidelines to basically like put it exactly on the center? That's what you got to do. Here are some examples where I've used match cuts before. It's pretty time consuming because you kind of have to like put a bunch of pictures, but technically that's just like an effect. There's also movie scenes where match cuts happen, and it's just 2 clips, which actually look really good. Number 3, one frame transition. A one frame transition is where you place a single effect that lasts just for 1 frame. Also known in the editing community as one framers. A lot of high energy edits like mine use this to add impact to beats or make cuts hit harder without a full transition. So let me show you how to do it. Yes, I'm still using these images, but it's still gonna work. Okay, so you can either use adjustment layers or just the actual clip. I like to use the actual clip, but let's say right here, this is where we're gonna do the transition, right? We just wanna cut this and now it becomes 1 frame. And then from here, you basically do whatever you want. You can add fill and literally just make it white. Press OK. And now look at this. I know it doesn't seem like much, but I do this all the time in my edits. And look at this. It literally makes it pop. Sometimes what I do is add multiple one framers, just not more than 3 though. So for example, I would like cut 2 more. And on this one, maybe we can stretch it like this. I know it looks funny. And then on this 3rd one, maybe we can add an effect to this. Mosaic, and just do this. I know this sounds crazy, but like I said, it's just 1 frame, so people don't really see it. So if I play it, it looks like that. Like that low-key looked like a glitch. You can add invert, you get this. If you play it, look at that. That looks pretty nice. But I do 1 framers all the time. I mean, look at my edits. Now that we're done with the mediums here, I do have to say that the advanced stuff you will see in the next few seconds is obviously not all you can do. I constantly get people in my DMs like,
yo, how do you do this? How do you do that?
So if you want to see the tutorials that I don't post on YouTube, you can find them in my community. Okay, now for the advanced tier. First on the list, we have mask transitions. A mask transition is when you use a mask to transition to the next clip in a creative way. I've went through eyes, mouths, paws, doors. You can do this with anything that closes like a box or like a circle. For this image, let's try and be creative. What looks like a circle? Literally right here. Or the headlights, or my eyes, or these kidney grills. You see how I'm being creative? Oh, no. Let's look at this other one, even though it looks like the same. Maybe the windshield. Maybe the money right here is a square. Maybe this little circle right here. All right, I think you get the point. Let's go through this circle right here. First thing you want to do is you got to make sure your clips are overlapping. Like I said, this could be done with videos as well, but it's a little bit trickier because usually videos are moving. So you either want to freeze frame it or rotoscope it. But anyways, I'm gonna go right here and then we're gonna add this little marking to show us that this is the transition where it happens. You don't have to do this. And then we want to basically mask out the circle, which we go over here. You hold and you go to the ellipse tool. And now we can zoom in and let's start right here. And let's make this a circle just like this. And you go like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, we go back. We don't want this. We want the opposite of this. So technically we just invert it. And now we got a hole. Actually, let's fix this up a little bit, bro. It's not going to be a perfect circle now, but whatever. Okay, boom. So now we have the circle. Obviously, we can't just keep it like this. So what I like to do is duplicate it. And on this bottom layer, we just invert this. So now it's just the circle. And now we have to go through the circle, basically. So I like to disable this little thing. So let's go like that. And we're going to use cameras. Yeah, now the advanced is actually coming to life. To make a camera, you go to layer, new, camera. Or if you have my plugin Prime Tools, and you can just press camera. Link in description. For this, I'm going to make it 15 millimeters. Press OK. Now we're going to make a null. If you don't have Prime Tools, you can go to layer, new, null. Okay, now we want to make everything 3D. Now we grab the camera and attach the camera to the null. And now we can go through this hole. But before we do that, we want to get the back image and move it more into the 3D space. So we're going to press P. We're going to go to this Z space. And then we're going to move it back. Basically, this is what we're doing. Okay, now we have the null. We're going to press P, make a keyframe, put it over here, then go over here. And now we're going to go through the hole. The reason I put the keyframe over here and I'm about to put it over here is because the transition needs to happen in the middle. So we're going to zoom in through here You gotta make sure it's kind of centered. So let's turn this on. Boom. And then we go through it. And then since we have this, I'm gonna use scale instead of using the position because it's still gonna stay back, if that makes sense. For the people that are kind of dumb, let me show you what I mean. Basically, you see scale, it still stays back, you know. All right, back to here. So now if we play it, look at this. It actually goes through my hat or through the BMW logo. Look at this. Looks pretty nice. Now it's gonna look nicer if we add a graph to it. So let's make these a little bit wider. Let's highlight these, right click, keyframe assistant, ease, graph. And we can do this graph right here. So it's like in the middle, you know what I mean? We go back and now towards the middle is when it's gonna go the fastest. So boom, boom, looks super nice. Now we gotta basically put this little thing back. But since we just have the layer be hidden so we can see through it, all we have to do is just enable it, right? But as we go through, it's still there. So we can do a cool animation since everything is just stuck to the null. So we can grab this little BMW logo, do position, and then we can like make this like go down. It looks kind of cool. I love doing that. And then let me add a little graph. And then if we play it, look at that. That looks tough. Look at that. And then you can select everything, turn on motion blur, and just look at that. Second on the list, we have screen shatter transition. Basically is what the name says. The screen shatters and you can see the next scene behind it. This isn't a transition you always want to use. It's more of like a cool way to show off your editing skills. But here's how you do it. So for this one, you're going to need two clips that are stacking on top of each other. The top layer is going to be the one that's going to shatter, which is going to reveal the background image of me. So now you choose where you want it to shatter. Usually you want it to shatter on your transition point, which is, this is our point. So we want to cut. And then right here, I just like to pre-compose, which if you don't, just kidding, you just go right here, right here, right here, right here. You don't have to pre-compose though. I don't think. I don't know. But if I were you, I would just pre-compose it just because I said so. Anyways, you want to go to effects and presets and you want to type shatter. This effect right here, everybody has it. That has After Effects. You're gonna grab this and put it on this clip. Whoa, 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 whoa. I know it looks kind of crazy, but it's all good. I'm gonna walk you through it. First, you go to view and you change this to rendered, and that's it. No, for real, that's it. If you play it, look at that. I know that looks kind of cheap, but you can fix it. So go to a frame like this, and then you can go to shape, and then you got the direction. Usually what I do is I go to force 1 and also bring up the radius so it does the whole screen and not just like this little small part. Boom. And then I really don't like these bricks, so on the shape I changed the bricks to, where is it, glass, so it actually looks like it's shattering. Look at that. And then you can go to physics and you can change the rotation speed. You can bring it all the way up. Look at that. You can change the randomness, the viscosity, which I don't even know what it is. Oh, that's kind of tough. It looks like a little, but back on the force, I like to just increase the force so it kind of just like does it faster like that. Unfortunately though, you can't really add motion blur to this for some reason, or maybe you can. Maybe I'm just slow. I don't think so. I've been using this effect for years now, and what I do actually, which I'm about to spit some sauce, is I pre-compose, which if you go to effects and presets and type in force motion blur, and then you add it to your clip, and it's gonna force motion blur, which now if you play it, look at it. Now it looks like better quality just because there's motion blur. Anyway, something else that you can do is add drop shadow to it, so it looks a little bit more realistic. So like drop shadow. If you don't all right, let me stop. You can go to effects and presets and type in drop shadow. Boom. And then let's bring the opacity all the way up. Let's bring the softness higher. And now look, now it looks cleaner ish. We can bring this down maybe. That looks nice. Like it reveals, you know? That looks super nice. I don't know if I already showed y'all, but here's some examples of my edits where I use this. Last but not least, we have whip end / shake end. I don't know why I just called it that. I basically use this transition, I guess you can call it, to end my edit sometimes. Feels like an aggressive but clean way to end it and just have a black screen. So you can do this multiple ways actually. Here's how I do it. I'll add one of my shakes, which I have an editing pack.
But why does this video sound so promotional?
You guys don't mind, right?
Yes, we do.
I bet. It doesn't have to be my shake though. You can use whatever shake you want. But let's add this little Twitch shake, which looks like this, right?
Right.
But all I would do is just like put these backwards. So I would just like bring this over here, bring this right here, bring this right here. And now it kind of just ends off like that. You see? So boom. You can do this with position. I also have this other preset called Y. It basically does this, but I just put it backwards. And so like it goes like this. It looks pretty nice. And I like to like put them close to each other so it does it even faster. But you can do this with position. So let me show you. So you want to press P, make a keyframe. Let's bring it over here towards the end. And then on these last keyframes, you literally just want to like bring it up, bring it down. I think that's enough. And it looks like that. But it looks trash because there's no motion blur. So turn on the motion blur, play it, and then you get something like that, which I don't know what. Okay, we got to bring this over here. There it goes. Oh, this one went up. But actually, let's bring this. Okay, like that. There we go. And now for my favorite effect that's not on this list, by the way. Suck in warp.
What did she say? What? Hey, yo. What did he say?
Yo, I know that sounds crazy, but that's what it looks like. It's basically zoom out, but with the warp effect. So you will type in warp. You grab this one right here, add it to your clip. You go to warp style, and you go to fisheye. You make this 0. You make a keyframe, and then over here we just drag it, and then we go to the end, but not the end, and then we bring it all the way in. But basically you do this, you highlight them, easy ease, keyframe, and then you do this, and then it goes like this. You see how it sucks in? See, I wasn't lying. But yeah, you may ask, why is this my favorite? I don't know. It's just my favorite. You could add a bunch of different effects and then do this, and then it makes it look like a different transition in a way. Like you don't really see it because you're looking at everything else. You see these edits right here? They all have that, but it doesn't look like I'm reusing it. Now look, like I mentioned before, hella people be asking me all types of editing questions in the comments and DMs, and the ones that I've been seeing a lot lately are related to Blender. I feel like 3D is a topic that a lot of editors don't cover because a lot of them can't do it. That being said, I got some modules dedicated specifically to Blender inside my community. So if you want to learn 3D or just become a better editor, join it through the first link in the description, and I'll see you inside. If you want to see a part 2 of this, let's get this video to 5,000 likes and I'll make it happen. Anyways, that's going to wrap up the video. This is the 3rd weekly upload in a row. So if you're new or old, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Deuces.